Another call I got for a project in Dallas was from Dee Dee Rose. As a lot of folks know, the most amazing patron of the arts. That includes the design arts. And Dee Dee described this amazing landscape that was right next to her house of a pump house and these tanks that held the water supply for Highland Park. I went down to see Dee Dee, first date, and I almost fell on the ground looking at this site. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And I believe I said to Dee Dee, Dee Dee, really, you want me to work on this? What's to improve on this? She goes, well, I want to, play with my grandchildren. I want to have parties here. I'm like, okay, that's good. And that was when, in feeling that the landscape was already designed, already perfect, that the process of, curation, of restraint, of testing always, proposal, took hold. I think I was doing it everywhere else, but there was something about the scale of the site, less than an acre, and of working with Dee Dee. Because it's almost like, I think because she's a patron, just gets you, and draws you out and said, what, and always, listening, what are you trying to do? And, reverberating, and I was like, wow. I've never, it was like she was a mirror of my process. With the idea, of the surrounding, the tanks and the pump house getting more porous, we started digging a lot, of concrete. And when we piled it up, I remember, going to get Dee Dee, and I said, I need you to see something, and I need a decision. And I said, how would you feel if I reuse all of this? She said, Julie, I'm happy because you're being light on the site. I was like, I don't want to say it in a Southern accent, but oh my God, how dear was that? I mean, so dear. And that's when I'm like, okay, these are big old pavers. They're just big pavers, and, figured out, where they might be distributed. And, we would, because we had the luxury of the small site and Dee Dee right there, we would, meander the site and, and at one point just said, I want to jump and hop with my grandchildren. The woman is so dear, and so we were just, but she could jump and hop. We were bringing the waterworks to life again, not in, hopefully, if anybody looks at it, not in this kind of patronizing way. You can patronize a site. I was like, where's the plumbing? Is the plumbing still intact? Because they just up and left, And sure enough, the plumbing was there, and I was like, can we turn on the plumbing? And hence the kind of industrial cascade came about, and one tank being one big old reflecting pool, a place that she said she wanted a barefoot party. Dee Dee was kind of wondering about this kind of undulation, of like, what, how could we have maybe the ground swell, as I kind of drew in a manic drawing, of like the creek and the bluff, being brought up like a blanket, and doing its thing. That was when, Meg Webster, the artist, came into the scene, and Kate and I, worked as hard as we could. It was a difficult, undulating terracotta piece, to have, have the land and this, this piece just like squished, pushed into it. where you could, lounge and look out to a very different part of the landscape. This is where some vastness came in, the spillway down to one side, the creek, to the other, and then the plain of the lake, And then beyond that, the mounds, this undulation with the Eve's necklace, grove on it. I always wanted to use Eve's like necklace just because it's a great name and a great tree. I've been able to, revisit the site, and in a way I think they're keeping it a little too tidy, but that's okay. And it feels good. It feels good. Yeah, it feels good.